Speaking in front of others is something that can be terrifying for some of us, and having someone point you out from a group and ask you to say a few words about something without prior preparation, well, that's a whole other level of fear. Host Melanie Taddeo has been through all this before, and in this Melanie Minute, she shares a few tips on how to deal with those situations when we're asked to suddenly get up and say a few words. Impromptu speaking is the topic of this Melanie Minute. But before we dive in, here's a brief message about Connecting Possibilities, the story of Connect4Life. "10 years in the making, Connecting Possibilities, the Story of Connect4Life is Melanie Taddeo's newest publication about the charity she created in 2014.
I'm Melanie Taddeo, the founder of Connect4Life. Connecting Possibilities is a story of growth, leadership, and accessibility. It is the story of Connect4Life.
Available in paperback and EPUB versions globally through all major online retailers.
Welcome to another Melanie Minute. Have you ever been asked a question at school, in a business meeting, or anywhere in a crowd of people that put you on the spot and needed you to answer quickly and in a coherent, concise manner? I think we all have been in that situation, and sometimes we get stuck. We don't know what to say or how to craft our answer, especially if we weren't paying attention. So this is something that I think we all need to practice, and that's called impromptu speaking. And really, truly, there's a great formula to help us all get through this awkward situation. Think about it as a mini speech, having an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. But it doesn't have to be long. Really, truly, an answer to a question should only be 1 to 2 minutes. Otherwise, the people you're answering are going to get bored and zone out. I learned this the hard way. I remember being in a business meeting, and we were talking about an upcoming fundraiser, place where I was working. And they said, "Melanie, what are your thoughts on this fundraiser?" And I thought, I have a lot of thoughts, but wow, I wasn't prepared for that. So I said, "That's a great question. I'm really excited about this fundraiser. And I think we've got a lot of opportunities for a lot of engagement. We've hit the right target audience. And I really think that it's going to bring in a lot of funds for the organization. However, I'm a little concerned about the venue. I don't think it's as accessible as some other possibilities because some of the people attending are going to be using mobility devices. Perhaps we could consider looking at these venues," and I listed 2 other options. But then I wrapped it up by just saying, "Now, these are just my thoughts. However, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it to see if I'm on the right track and also to find out what your perspective is." So intro, body, and conclusion. This helps us kind of just get our mind set on what we need to say in a short, concise format. But this takes practice. It doesn't happen easily, especially the first couple of times. Maybe you might do a little bit and it's really short, but you're not covering everything. So that structure is a good way to practice. And I know for a fact that doing this at Toastmasters week after week, I have definitely developed this skill. And this is a perfect opportunity, especially if you're going for a job interview, because we know they're going to ask us questions and you want to be as prepared as you can. And maybe you can prepare a little bit with practice questions, but sometimes they throw you a curveball that you really weren't thinking about. But in order to stay on track and answer the question without just fluffing it up, you want to make sure that you are using a structure. So remember, introduction, body, and conclusion. So the next time that you are asked a question out of the blue when you're not ready or expecting it, use a structure. But you can also practice. Think about it. Just pick any question. Once you become good at this, this may also help you in a situation such as, "Hey, honey, where you been?" Especially if you're buying a Christmas gift or something that's surprising them, you want to have a response quickly. So again, you never know. It's a great skill to have us help us out in all areas of our life. Until next time.
You have been listening to Connect4Life, the podcast. For more information about this program, or any of the channels owned and operated by the Connect4Life Media Network, visit connect4life.ca.